Hi, I'm Scott Humphrey, CEO of the World Floor Covering Association, and this is Leadership Live. Today, I want to share with you a life experience. I had an opportunity to spend some time with an individual today, not in person, but through a Zoom call, which is kind of the norm in this day and time. And I begin to understand the reason this person makes me light up every time I get to speak with them. And I thought about the different types of leadership. And so I want to talk to you about those different types of leadership, and I want to talk to you about how you can become a contagious leader, maybe a magnetic leader, the type of person that people want to follow, not simply that they have to follow. Leadership is important to your success, not only in business, but in life. The Carnegie Technology Institute has stated that 90% of all people who fail in their vocation do so because they can't get along with people. You want to be the type of person that when business gets tough, people will find a way to do business with you just because they enjoy being with you. They follow you out of choice, not out of compulsion. There are three types of leadership that occur to me as I think about leadership in its basic terms. One is positional leadership. We follow people because they're in a position, maybe professionally, where we're under them and we need to look to them for guidance. It can be because of their title, it can be because of their role. The second type of leadership is those who lead us through influence, often because of the type of personality they have. It can be a very commanding personality or a dominant personality. And by the way, leaders of influence are not always positive. They can have a negative influence on you, but they just have that natural ability to create the environment within the room. But the third type of leadership is the one I'm most interested in, and that is leadership through investment in relationships. The type of leader that people follow because they want to. In fact, they can't get enough of it. They seek out opportunities to spend time with this individual. And oftentimes, by the way, that individual does not see themselves as a leader. They have no idea the influence and the impact that they are having. Now, all of these types of influence are important, but the one that's going to outlast you, the one that will be your legacy maker, as you often hear me talking about, is the investment type of leadership, the one that seeks out the relationship, that draws people to them. So how do you become that type of leader? Well, very simply to me, there are three ways that you become that type of leader. The first one is to be present where you are. I saw that quote years ago. It said, be present where you are. It's the only place you can be. It's a very simple but true statement. And yet I see a lot of people who are present, but they're not fully present. They're distracted by technology, and they can be in the same room, but they're there in body only. Step one is to be present where you are. Remove the distractions and focus in. Secondly, listen intently. Now, listening is not something you simply do with your ears. Listening means your body is turned towards somebody. It ties into number one, where you've removed distractions. Your eye contact is there, and you're listening because you care. You're listening to learn, to gain information. The third thing I would ask you to do if you want to be this type of magnetic leader is to invest in others. Look for opportunities to celebrate with them. Empathize when they're going through times of difficult trial or when they're celebrating. Be there and experience that joy with them. Let them know that you're excited for them or that you feel with them for the situation that they're going through. Listen, relationships are vital to our success and really even to our survival. Emperor Frederick was the emperor of the Roman Empire in the 13th century. He decided he wanted to find out what the natural language was of man. Was it Hebrew? Was it Greek? Was it Latin? So he set aside a few infants and he allowed no spoken word to be said in front of them from the time that they were born. He hired some nurses to come in and deal with them, but they were never allowed to speak to these infants. His feeling was that eventually, when it was time for them to speak, they would come out speaking the language which was the natural language of humanity. You know what happened to those infants? Within several months, all of them were dead. There was no other apparent reason except that there had been no conversation, no relationship established with them. We need relationships to survive. And listen, you want to be that person that when the going gets tough, people will seek out a way to do business with you, to build relationships with you, and to spend time with you. Be a contagious leader, a magnetic leader. And in doing so, be present where you are, listen intently, and look for opportunities to invest in other people, to celebrate with them and to mourn with them, to empathize with them. When you do that, then you are a relational leader. Take that, build your legacy, and go out there and lead.